Okay, Lavelle, last question. Are the Vikings legitimate Super Bowl contenders? I think we can elevate them beyond whatever we thought of them at the beginning of the year. I think they've been elevated beyond, hey, they just beat the Giants, and then hey, they beat the 49ers. They just beat the Texans 34-7. They are 3-0. They are playing like a very good team. But are you buying this now, or is this a trend where this can continue at a close level all year, or are you still thinking this could be a mirage?
Man, this NFL season's already gone crazy. 3 weeks into the season, the Bengals are 0-3. The Cowboys are struggling. The Ravens lost their first 2 games. They're trying to recover. The Commanders are 2-1. Who saw that with Jaden Daniels at quarterback? And who saw the Vikings at 3-0 with Sam Darnold leading the way? No one did. So, are they Super Bowl contenders? I'm not going there yet. I'm not. I think the defense, and KOC said this last year when I covered the game in Las Vegas against the Raiders. He said this is a championship defense, and I believe it is. I think Brian Flores, and with a second year, for the players that came back to absorb his system a little bit more, it sounds like they're not even just thinking now; they're just reacting to things on the field and making their calls, and really confusing opponents. And this has a chance of being a top 5, top 3 defense maybe. And what they did to San Francisco and Houston in back-to-back weeks should have the league stand up and take notice. I am not convinced that the offense is ready to rock yet for the whole season under Darnold. I want to see teams and opposing defenses are probably looking at him a little harder now, and they're probably going to scheme him a little differently now and pay more attention to Darnold. He has earned that by his play. Eventually he'll get Hawkinson back, which will be a big boost. Aaron Jones, I think, has been a really sneaky good addition. I thought that he was one of their key offensive players going into the year, and I think he's proven so. But my trust level with Sam Darnold is increasing. It was very low at the beginning of the year. It's about midway now, and I will allow him to continue to make me change my opinion or my trust level with him as we go forward. But right now, I can't say that the Vikings are a Super Bowl contender. I can't say that they're going to be the surprise team of the year.
I will say they are playing like a Super Bowl contender, at least. I think you're right that 3 out of 17 games isn't a big enough sample size yet, even if it's been impressive, right? It's not like they're winning 24-23 on a last-second field goal like it was a couple of years ago when they were pulling out all those games at the end. Like, you knew that season was a mirage, even if they went 13-4. This season is surprising, but doesn't feel like a fluke, right? The way they're playing is not fluky. The way they're executing on defense in particular, but also on offense, is not fluky. So they're playing like a team that could do some damage in the playoffs and potentially go to the Super Bowl, but we don't have enough sample size yet. What I will say, too, though, is you get Addison back pretty soon. You get Hawkinson back pretty soon. Hawkinson's not this week, but maybe after this week, because it's just the 4 weeks that you'd have to sit out. Addison could be back this week. We'll have to see. Like, the offense could get more explosive. Now, I made this point to Andrew Kramer, though. Like, if the offense gets more explosive, is KOC suddenly going to want to be throwing it 40 times a game, getting kind of greedy, and that's when you get the bad side of Darnold? I don't know. They still have to remain true to the balance they have established. The complementary football this year, all 3 phases, has been pretty much impeccable. That's their brand right now. It's not a passing offense brand. Their brand is complementary football. It's been working for them so far, but they've barely had to play from behind this year. I think they've been behind for 4 minutes all year. I do want to see what happens when they have to play with a deficit, when they have to throw the ball more. How do they react in those situations?
When they get punched in the mouth first, they have to come back from a deficit. I agree. But I will say a couple things. One, Kelsey let it be known throughout the preseason that he was ready to commit to the run more. And
he was right. So far, I'm impressed with that.
He's backing up what he's saying. His actions are matching with the checks that his mouth have been writing on that one. 2, I wonder if the Green Bay, Wisconsin version of the Daily Delivery is having the same debate about the Green Bay Packers being Super Bowl contenders.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they're doing some impressive stuff. I did not think that they would be able to survive without Jordan Love, even for a couple games. And then Malik Willis goes 2-0. We'll see who the quarterback ends up being this week. They'd love to play games. Might be him, might be Love. But LaFleur's been impressive with kind of game planning. Flores gave him some props the other day when he was talking with the coordinators on Tuesday, saying, "Hey, like let's give him some credit for running some of this RPO stuff. It's totally switching up his scheme to fit the quarterback and get them some much needed wins, albeit against bad opponents." So it feels at this moment like a pretty wide open race in the NFC North. I don't know how you feel about your Bears right now. I wonder if are people. I mean, Caleb Williams had a good game last time. They didn't win, but he had a good game. Are people looking at Jaden Daniels and saying, "Oh, do we make the right move at this point?"
Yeah, the Bears fans on my text string are already started debating that yesterday about someone said, "Well, I always thought Daniels was the best quarterback of the group." I'm like, whatever,
Like, where's your receipts? Where are your receipts, sir?
Exactly. You cannot, it's too early to fret about that. The Bears have a lot of things going on in terms of the offensive fluidity. The offensive line's been in flux. Ben Lieber mentioned he also thinks part of that issue is Caleb Williams' struggles with communicating things to his offensive line. So there's some things that need to get worked out. But the fact the kid threw for 363 yards last week was encouraging to me. I want him to get comfortable throwing the ball down the field, not sideline stuff or deep balls down the sideline. I want to see him attack the middle of the field because the best quarterbacks in the league make their money throwing the ball down the middle of the field. I want him to get used to that, and it may take a few games. I'm just grateful that the Bears do not play a division opponent until week 11, and then I don't think we have to deal with crazy Brian Flores defense until week 13.
There you go. Well, I think this is a big week for Vikings. Vikings Packers week is always big, but 3-0 going into 2-1. If the Vikings win this game, and they certainly could, that will be a pretty big leap, a Lambeau leap, if you will, in terms of making believers out of a lot more people, I would think.
Absolutely. I had them going 2-4 through their first 6 games, and it looks like they're going to blow that one out of the water.
I was of the mind before the season started. If they don't beat the Giants, I don't know where the next win's going to come from, because I didn't think they were very good at all. They are so much better than I thought they were. Whether they're Super Bowl contenders yet or not will probably remain to be seen, even if I think they're playing like one right now.